Hey guys, injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here. You'll notice that I'm wearing different sunglasses today. I can't find my aviator sunglasses, which by the way cost me $12 on Amazon, even though they're pretty cool looking. And I think these are $8 glasses. They're my risky business emergency backup sunglass pair. I think they look okay. I like the aviators better. think I look more, business-like. One of my buddies said I look like a private investigator, like a private detective. I'll take it. So the topic for today's video is I'm thinking about switching lawyers. What do I need to know? Okay. Now this is a delicate topic. It's actually a real serious breach of etiquette for a lawyer to steal another client's case. Now that's the terminology that the lawyer who loses the case uses, is that somebody's stealing his or her client. But the law in Illinois and in most states, virtually all states, is that the client must have a free right to have any attorney they want, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that at any point in the representation, the first day, the 700th day, or anywhere in between, if you really decide that you can't work with a lawyer anymore, you can switch lawyers. And the lawyer can't torpedo your case. They can't disclose bad information to you about anybody. Nothing like that. They can't do anything, okay? But they are entitled to money at the end of the case. So that is something you need to think about. Now, how does that work? Now, 99.9% of the time, you get rid of a lawyer, you hire a new one. At the end of the case, your new lawyer has to work out a deal with the old lawyer in splitting up the attorney's fees, right? So usually the attorney's fees are whatever you agreed to with the second lawyer, and then the two lawyers have to split them up. So I had a guy who called me who had been represented for a really long time. Years and years, and the case was very mature. There were multiple surgeries. There was a written offer that I think was really low, and the lawyer who represented them by reputation, my opinion only, wasn't a law firm that does a very good job, in my opinion, and based on reputation, based on things I've heard from other lawyers who also know what they're doing. It's not a law firm with a stellar reputation. So the story that this guy told me about the communications and things of that nature are just, I believe him, because I've heard them over and over from lots of law firms. So I basically explained to this guy, the later into the case you are, the harder it is to find a new lawyer. And if the case is set for trial, most good lawyers are very hesitant to take over a case like that. And the reason why is, you take over a case like that, the new lawyer has no control over what the former lawyer might have done or not done, because there are like disclosure deadlines, and you have to get certain work done by certain dates, or the court bars the evidence. So the first thing that goes through my head with a very mature case like that when somebody wants to switch is, did the old lawyer screw things up, and am I stepping into a swamp here where I'm not going to be able to fix it because it's too late? So keep that in mind. The older the case is, the harder it is going to be to find a new lawyer. Next thing is, am I going to be the second lawyer on the case, or am I going to be the fourth or fifth lawyer on the case? Because I will tell you, this is advice they give in dating. I think I heard it on a radio show when I was younger, on a radio program, where they said, if all of your ex-girlfriends are jerks and rotten, they all have one boyfriend in common. In other words, if you've had 4 or 5 lawyers and none of them were good enough, and you're mad at all of them, and they did a terrible job, and they didn't do what you wanted them to, and all the rest of it, and you've gone through 4 lawyers or 3 lawyers or 5 lawyers, maybe you need to recalibrate. Maybe you should recalibrate your expectations of the case and what a lawyer can do for you. And then the other thing to think about is, it is possible. Like, I have, God help me, over my 25 years, I have talked to people who had a bad lawyer and then another bad lawyer and another bad lawyer, because I by reputation, I know those lawyers and I know how the law firms operate, and I know what the client's expectations were. The client's expectations were with a real law firm and a real trial lawyer, and for whatever reason, they went from one bad TV lawyer to a neighborhood lawyer who does nothing but sign up cases and settle them low, doesn't work on the cases, to another guy with a not great reputation, in my opinion. Now, I will tell you, most lawyers are awesome. Most lawyers are amazing. A lot of lawyers surprise me how awesome they are and the great outcomes they get for their clients. But as in any profession, some are better than others, and some people are in this business for the wrong reason, in my opinion. They're not in it to really help clients. They're not in it to educate the client, support the client, help manage they don't even talk to the clients, a lot of them. They only want their secretary or their case manager or their law clerk to talk to the client the whole time, and it's just crazy. You deserve more than that. At a minimum, you need an attorney who's really engaged with his or her cases. And if you need to talk to the attorney because it's an emergency or because there's a sensitive topic, you should be able to get to the attorney. I mean, I rely on my staff a lot to talk to people and call people, but when push comes to shove, I'll drop what I'm doing and pick up the phone if it's a critical situation. So my point is, don't just fire your lawyer because your lawyer gave you bad news, or you thought it was $1 million case and your lawyer tells you there's some real challenges, here's what they are, I think we should settle. Don't fire your lawyer because he didn't call you back once, or it took him too long to call you back one time, or you mainly have to talk to his secretary. That's how most offices run. Inside baseball, if I had to speak on the phone with everyone who calls my office every day, I would get no legal work done. That is literally true. I would be on the phone all day, every day, with clients nonstop, or with insurance adjusters, other attorneys, doctors, other lawyers, all the time. And so we have to have staff help. But if it's at a point where you feel like your lawyer lied to you, you feel like your lawyer and his staff will not talk to you, will not explain things to you, if you have a serious disagreement about the case, if you feel like nothing's happening on your case and no one will explain anything to you. In other words, if your relationship with the lawyer, if the trust you had in that lawyer is gone, then it might be time to consider hiring a new lawyer. But keep in mind that the older the case and the more former lawyers on the case, the harder it's going to be for you to find a lawyer. I usually try and talk people out of it, and I call the old lawyer if the client allows me to see if I can smooth things over. But if I do that and they never call the client, or they do that and they call the client and yell and scream at them, this sort of thing, well, what am I supposed to do? Let the client's case go to hell? Tell the client they have to stay with an attorney that hates them, evidently? Not going to do that. If it's an independent decision by the client that they've decided to move on no matter what, and the relationship is broken, I'll take the case. So keep that in mind. I hope this information helps you. It's not a fun topic, but maybe it's a relief to you if you need to know that, right? So anyway, I hope you and your family are well, and I hope you have a great day. If you or a loved one needs to talk to a lawyer, I can always be reached at 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Free consultation. You can call that number anytime, night or day, any day of the year. Even Christmas Eve at 11:30 p.m. or New Year's Eve at 12:01. That line always gets answered. So you can call, ask your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And If you have a case and you want me to handle it, we can do that too, okay? I've got great tools on my website, like the Do I Have a Good Case Calculator and the Case Cash Calculator. They're quick little calculators you use. You answer 4 questions. In five questions, you get an idea of whether you have a good case or whether you have challenges and what your case might be worth. Links are in the description. Also, if you enjoy the channel, please subscribe and like the video, and give me a thumbs up and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I shoot a new video. Finally, if you enjoy my videos, or you are my client or a former client, or you've enjoyed my content, or we've had a phone consultation, and you like my approach to all this stuff and you like my information, please consider giving me a 5-star review on Google. I'll leave the link in the description. It would really help me. The link takes you right to the page. You just click 5 stars, write a kind word if you care to, hit submit, and it really, really helps me out. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care.